Grub. Current update is $25 more to overtake Riamar with $151 in first place spot. He is currently the top donator with $620 raised for this show match, for this best of 5. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for tuning in. And, of course, the players probably want to thank you as well. They did say awesome in-game. Sorry we didn't get to show it because, of course, the game started up and we got into this lobby really quick. So, spawning here on the upper left side of Ruins of Saras. Playing for Millennium. He's going to be the red Terran player, MarineLord. Up 1-0 currently.
In the top right, as the blue Zerg, it's Liquid TLO.
And of course, we are on a bit of a delay. People are wondering how you can donate towards the prize pool, ! MATCHERINO in chat. Just like you see said down here, guys. They're the sponsors of the tournament. I guess the event? No, the show matches? Whatever you want to call it. And again, I'm just going to put this on stream so we have like a record of this set of awesome top 5 donators. This isn't going to be up here permanently, guys. I'm just going to put it there for now. So thank you all for being awesome and making this prize pool so damn big. Remember, the base set line for this was $250 was what MATCHERINO was going to give out if nobody raised any money. Like, if we raised $0 whatsoever, MATCHERINO was going to give these players $250. But with 620 raised at this point, holy freaking schmoly.
It's a lot of money.
It is, and I'm really glad we could raise it for these two, because MarineLord and TLO are definitely two players I would love to see get a couple of bucks for their trouble. They're awesome players to watch. Now, we talked a little bit last game. TLO went for his dessert before his dinner, however you want to phrase that. And I gotta imagine, like, we cast like 3 or 4 MarineLord TVZs yesterday in Home Story Cup. If TLO did any amount of homework, just skimmed through the VODs, he would have seen weaknesses and strengths immediately out of this French Terran player. And I kind of feel like he did, because that's the only reason I think you would rush out Ultras in that way that he did.
But skipping a Mutas to do that, I mean, sure, you can see that Terrans are having trouble against Ultras, but you can also see they're not having too much trouble in the mid game, unless that's versus Roaches. It's a completely different type of game.
I personally am still a big fan of Roach, Ravager, Corruptor over Mutas. I really am not a Muta fan. I don't think they've got as strong of a presence anymore, but I mean, like, just having air controlled some way, somehow.
I really like this donor chat, by the way, on MATCHERINO. You can see,
I know, on the left side you can see where
cheering
it's just like,
on.
I know, it's like, good game, well played. Oh, Samurai's actually saying they're a donation Archon now? I love it.
Yes, apparently.
Riamar, by the way, I'm sorry, Samurai's an awesome guy. He's top donor and all that stuff, but Riamar has got a special place in our heart. Not only did he donated to the match, he donated to us, he donated to the previous match. So, in my heart, Riamar, know that you are the top donor.
Well, as long as he is in your heart, he probably feels really proud of himself.
No, there's some people who just, they leave an impact on you, and Riamar is one of them, because, of course, our duration and our stay at home story cup was made a little bit easier thanks to him. In fact, if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think I would have made it home alive if he didn't buy 2 fans to give me a zombie grub that we could put in our hotel rooms. Oh my god.
This is what I'm thinking, right? We get to Home Story Cup and it's like ruined, and then Remar brings us fans and it's saved.
Okay, thank you, Bob Ross. that was pretty much it though. Like, that's not an inaccurate description at all. 2 Hellions and a Reaper poking up here. I should tab off because I'm a terrible observer. There we go. Banliness starts out pretty quick. You know, that was another thing that really irritated me about that game. No offense to TLO, love him to death, but that Banling speed came out so late.
It did. So this is, I forgot to talk about this. We're talking about other things, but whenever someone goes Hellions now, especially MarineLord, I would say, I would just be automatically suspicious they're going for a Hellbat Liberator attack or Hellbat Marine attack or some variation of it, right? Because otherwise, you do see a lot more players steering away from those Hellions for one reason or another. And, well, they do seem to only be that good versus either getting in there to kill drones, just as Hellion, kind of sacrificial, or as turning into Hellbats, which they are pretty damn good. The TLO with that Baneling nest, it does finish, and if you get some, you know, precautionary Banelings, which he is, 4 of them, he should be fine against a frontal attack. But MarineLord, not too quick on that, is actually just spending his time. There you go, turn into Hellbats right now. But the medevac's gonna go into the main base.
And it's actually in a bit of dead space, so TLO, despite putting these links here, doesn't see it. But of course, the main threat is those Hellbats, so the Banelings being sent over here is not bad at all. But this Hellbat drop in the main with these 2 Marines. Oh, they actually transformed the Hellings into Hellbats. That was really smart, actually. Ooh, this split push is actually really scary all of a sudden. It's been from being something like so-so, but
even Marines.
Slowly keeping these pushed back. A couple of drones, a couple of Lings pulled into this. Queen's trying to stay alive. A little bit longer on that transfuse.
That Reaper.
1 second. Oh, doesn't get it.
Nice.
All right, so this gets cleaned up. This was seriously an attack, though, that I think many other players would have just straight up died to. MarineLord holding this and making it look so easy was goddamn impressive.
He could pick up the Hellbats. I mean, what are they with the poor medevac so almost dead? It's not like Hellbat drop to do too much damage, but you save what you can save and you get back home.
Ryomar, by the way, takes that top donation slot back, and it says Samurai Mar in the house.
Jeez. Big payouts for a best of 5.
Big payouts. I don't know that we've actually had a best of 5 worth this much money ever on the channel, so that's pretty awesome. Of course, we're not going to be hitting any world records with best of record, because was it Scarlet and Naniwa, that Total Biscuit Bitcoin matchup? That was worth like way too much money.
That's so stupid, because the Bitcoin was so like
inflated.
It wasn't worthless back then. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, so while that Hellbat attack did not do a lot of like, you know, good damage, basically. It didn't kill any drones, it didn't kill like a ton of Lings, it only killed 1 Queen, I believe. Like, it was still a worthwhile attack. He saved medevac, he saved a handful of units, and behind it, of course, his macro was pretty on point. MarineLord has Legacy of the Void builds really clean and defined.
So Samurai, by the way, and Ryomar and everyone else donating to this, like, again, you guys are just the best, but someone actually puts a great thing in chat where, the donor chat, where it says, not rich at all, we're just happy to be spending money on the cause. And I think that's cool. That's kind of a good point of view on it too, where you know you're supporting 2 players, or at least 1 of 2 players that you love, so it's not about like whether you have a lot of money or a little money, as long as you're happy spending your money.
You know where to put it? This drop wasn't gonna do too much. Like, the Hellbats, again, can take out some of the Lings, but no upgrades on these Marines.
By the way, they are going to add a couple more coupon codes to this after seeing the hype. They initially said no when I asked, but they said, wow, $660. Okay, we'll go cook up a couple more coupon codes. So we might be able to get some of y'all to contribute. Maybe. We'll get updates on that after this game. Tank's going to take some blasts off on these Lings. Not really a lot getting done here for TLO, sadly. But his mid game, his early game, they're all looking way stronger, and we see that faster infestation pit once again. And I have no idea if this is specifically to snipe MarineLord, because what we saw sort of do, because it was sort of who really just spanked him in Homestory Cup, or maybe this is something he does regularly. Either way, for TLO, this lead up to it is way better, in my opinion. Bailey Speed can finish up here in just a sec as well. This really does feel like a Zerg map. Like, every time we see Zerg on this map, expansions, control, like, it usually looks like a good Zerg map.
MarineLord is trying to take control, even if this map looks Zerg favored. And I'd say especially in like diagonal positions, cross positions it is. A little nicer with these horizontal spawns. Corruptors are the anti-air of choice, so Griffin will be happy. Not actually enough to deal with this little cleanup crew. There's quite a bit of creep. Has all of the upgrades, 1/1 combat shields. Takes a splash from a Baneling.
So Corruptors, the reason we start talking about these for anti-air instead of Mutalisks, their base armor, without any upgrades being 2, is one of the highest base armors in the game. And it's really hard to actually kill them with Marines, especially before they actually take out the medevacs. So, okay, one gets, as we see, like, one out of position, takes forever, a million shots to kill it. 3 mutas would have died. Like, that's sort of logic. So, the furthermore point is that, that's a dumb way to phrase that, they can actually attack buildings now, Corruptors. So they're not totally useless. You don't just take out the medevacs and float around with 18 dead supply. You can actually kill command centers with them.
MarineLord pushing in with tanks, finds a bit of a choke, but not really, and goes way too far into creep. Looking for the army with an entire army is not what you want to do. Oh, gets surrounded on Marines, and his army is going to be cleaned up, no problem.
That
Not
last
enough
Baneling hit.
corruptors to really take out the medevacs. And we have a drop in the main base and attack on the fourth, so while the main attack went well for TLO, he's losing a lot everywhere else.
Neither of these drops are too big, though, and I feel like could be
Well, it killed the
resolved
fourth.
easily. Oh, the fourth one actually is good. Okay, cool. I was looking at the main story. Baneling's pop off finally.
Yeah, he also saved the drop. TLO was unable to respond to all 3 locations. I can go ahead and cancel the new fourth.
Some Banelings morphing in. Ultra's Cavern on the way. Ultras will trump just about everything when it comes to fighting Marine tank. That's the downside too. Even with the tanks hitting Ultras as hard as they do, chitinous plating just makes the Marines almost completely irrelevant. Like you really might not even... But better off not even being involved in the fight. Just run away.
Oh, a missile turret right in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's going to be the point of contention almost always, and these spawn positions. That's just so silly to see.
I mean, it... weird as it is, it would help with the corruptors. So it'll also provide detection for creep. You don't have to burn scans. I mean, slices, dices, Julian fries. I don't know. I like the missile turret. Silly as it is.
The Ultras are on the way. I didn't even notice that the Ultras Cavern had finished. But not with plating quite yet, and not with +3 Carapace.
Yeah, this is scary.
plans with the finish.
It's not about buying time to the Ultras to pop. It's buying time till chitinous plating is done. If TLO can hold on, no problem. But if he goes in with the Ultras now, they will actually be shredded by the Marines. MarineLord's upgrades are that good. Hesitating to go full in with everything. I think he knows just how little there is to work with here. TLO also gets dropped in the main while this happens. Ultras can actually come back for this. This is a small drop. This isn't bad. But there's no way they charge in through Marines and tanks at this third. Starting to struggle here. TLO does have that fourth base up, but as we see, the Ultra is almost killed by these Marines. That's the difference of chitinous plating. It is such an insane upgrade.
I don't think TLO is going to be able to hold on to enough economy. He can try and lose the third, and then like his fourth is still kind of mining. And you just get a good Ultra army, like a big Ultra army, but
Yeah.
I think you still need buffer. Ghosts are coming out.
Ghosts are going to be a really expensive counter for this, though. We'll see if MarineLord struggles. He's only on 3 bases himself, but that army supply is triple that of TLO's. And despite the effectiveness of this chitinous plate, look again, like, now the Ultras take no damage from the Marines. It's only the tanks that really hurt them, but there's just no supply for TLO. No support. And as sick as this almost looked to be, MarineLord is going to take 2-0 lead here in this best-of-5 showmatch series.
It's really about his drops, man. Like his push will be cleaned up, sure, but